Now, how far have you gone on this one then? What do you think we are? Where do you think we came from? Because I've been on that. Like, how do you feel? Because there's so many ways I could take this. I'm so far. Like, I stopped with religion. I convinced myself that if there is a higher power, it's so far beyond our understanding and our brain's capacity of, because it could be like an energy form or some kind of life form that we don't even understand. But now that the UFO things are coming out, I started thinking, like, is there a higher power that's like observing us through drones, a drone type of technology? Because don't get me wrong, I understand that there's like this big conspiracy that the government has taken over reverse engineered UFOs and they're the ones flying around in the sky, and that could be. But I really think that there's a power that we don't understand that's flying around, because they've documented a few things that aren't making human type moves, or they're not a machine that's made by a human, and they're flying around in our skies right now. So what could that be? What kind of intelligence would just observe a group of humans? You know what I mean? Would really think about that.
Okay, let me put it to you like this. You remember the Men in Black, right?
Yeah,
Remember when he had that little ball and it was the whole world?
I
That
knew
little
you were going to
marble?
say that. I knew you were going to
Remember
say
that?
that.
Okay,
Yeah.
when I was a kid, I used to collect bugs. I used to have spiders in jars. I used to have ants in jars. And I used to look at these little worlds. The same thing
Damn,
I'm
that's
talking about
trippy.
that they're
That's
doing. I
trippy.
was always a kid that was thinking, bro. I was always looking at stuff and wondering, like, what makes these ants do this? And then you got a queen ant, you got a queen bee, you got these dominant spiders, you got these other predator bugs, you got all this stuff. So if you look at it like this, like, there's different levels to the game in life, right? So you got people down here who maybe worked on a street level, certain jobs, and then you got people that are entrepreneurs. Then you got people
Yeah.
who are in banking and finance. You got people who are globally running conglomerates, and then you look at the bloodlines of these people and how they're distributed across the world. Now, if your bloodline, or what they consider quote bloodline, is somehow associated with a higher intelligence being, and then that creates a hierarchy. But every now and then you have somebody that breaks that, and they jump up into this, and they interbreed with these other bloodlines.
Damn.
Then you have a hybrid. But to think that if you say, like, if we have different levels in our society, think about in creation different levels. So you have, say for instance, you said energy or entities or gods that created us. Then you have gods that created those gods. Then you have gods that, so it's different levels. And at the highest level, it might just be a burst of energy that can
Yeah.
incarnate itself into anything. And
Like
then
we could
down
be on a
here,
we could be a cell. We could
we're
just
trapped in
yeah.
a flesh prison.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? We can get sick. We got illness. We got
Yeah.
this. We're like, we're like not the lowest. The lowest would probably be a goddamn amoeba. But then
Yeah.
you have us, and we're like primitive. We think
Very.
we're smart, but we're
Very.
very primitive.
No.
You know what I mean?
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
So when you start talking about, that's how I look at it, man. And I'm always like looking at, okay, like within the matrix, how does this all work? I mean, if you've ever, I mean, I when I go to LA, I travel all around, and I've gone from Malibu to South Central, and bro, these are all human beings. But when I see how one side is living an hour and a half away from the other, or maybe 15 miles, the mentality. I'm looking at these people over here eating avocado toast, and then I see these guys over here eating street tacos. So, and this is all within an hour and a half time span of
Have
driving.
you met a lot of people that think the way we do?
No,
Because I have not,
no,
and it scares me, man.
yeah. There's not a lot, and the people, uh, for one, people on the next level, they really, because they haven't maybe went through the fire you went through or the fire I went through,
Yeah.
they really have the desire to share this
Do you
with
think
the
it
people.
takes that? Do you think it takes that?
Well, think about it. Like, once you get to a certain point, right, and you see things, and you're like, do you really feel like you have the energy to try to wake everybody? I don't.
No, I
I'm
don't.
pretty much.
I
I
don't.
share stuff on my on my podcast, and I'll talk with you, but on a private level. But I'm not. I'm not
Because
gonna
the
say.
energy that comes from it is just so it's draining, bro.
Well,
It's
they don't want to hear it. They will.
exactly.
These people.
They won't even
People
entertain it. They won't even entertain it.
they'll take you down.
Yeah.
They'll take you down. You go to
Yeah.
the hood and try to get your hair cut a few times. Go to the barbershop. Talk this
Bro.
shit.
Bro, I've been 5150'd for talking this shit, dude. I understand. Like it's not pretty. I get
No,
it. Like
no. So I believe there's different levels, man, and it's no different. There's no different. I mean, we're on our way to a different level, and I look at like when people look at certain things, I look at money as energy. It's just like it's like nutrients. You got to eat them to survive, and it provides you with energy to do things. And once you understand that, and a lot of people, they use it just to survive, and others use it to grow.
damn, I never thought of it like that.
How do you want to use it? Do you want to use it to just survive, or do you want to use it to grow?
Grow for
So
sure.
you have to find other people who think like you on the same level,
Mm.
but that aren't corrupted.
So it's
Like
all about the circles. The
the
circles.
circles, bro,
Mm.
and not allowing yourself to be pulled into some other bullshit where
Yeah,
you know
exactly.
you're caught on a
Draining. Yeah.
on a puppy sex tape.
Facts. Facts. Damn. Wow. I keep trying to think like where I should like put my energy when I'm thinking this way. Like I've been thinking like I need to like spread awareness and try to promote people to think the way I do, but that's never going to happen. They're going to have to find it on their own. They have to want to think this way. In a certain way, you do.
Take what you know, take what Cody knows, Aaron knows, and whoever else you know within your closed circle
Yeah.
that has this knowledge. Right now, what you do, what we do, is we figure out how to monetize that, and that allows us to now build
Empowers you.
our base, and now we can going forward, if we have any offspring, we can give them a
Pass
better
it. Pass it.
opportunity.
Yeah, exactly.
So they can get the better game than we have, so they don't have to go through what we went through. But
Well
that's
said.
what you do.
Well
I
said.
take what I learned from prison, reading, my skills in art, my skills in different things, and I'm figuring out how can I monetize that, because you can put a lot of energy into being like one of those guys on the curb with the microphone and Jesus said you are saved, blah blah blah. You're out there on the corner, or you could be a guy who takes your game and bro becomes like one of these guys who has a cathedral, but you don't use it like you're not manipulating people, but you use it to increase your wealth and your ability to have resources. Because if you don't have no money, bro, it don't matter what you know. Nobody
That's a
gives a fuck
fact.
about a broke,
That's a
a
fact.
broke person with knowledge.
That's a fact.
What do you have? You pull up to me, you got a goddamn Toyota Prius, bro. You're trying to preach this shit. I don't want to hear
Ain't no
it.
one listening to that. Yeah.
No. So you got to have your money right. And until you have your money right, you can't begin to think that you're going to make a difference in anybody's life.
Well said.
You got to lead by example. It's like when you think about going into battle, right? And you used to see those guys in the movies, and Hollywood plays a lot of it. They got the gold, the helmet, the sword. They come out there.
I can't watch it.
It's like, dude, these dudes come like, yeah, Excalibur, old school Excalibur, bro. They come in there. People see that these guys they're on some next level shit. You got a goddamn loincloth, a little, bullshit sword, dude. They're coming through there chopping, and you know what I mean. You got to get your game
I hear
up.
you.
Like
I hear you. I hear you.
You can't begin to try to kick ass in your little, Tacoma, your little Prius.
Little Prius. Yeah. Facts.
It ain't gonna happen, man. It ain't gonna happen.
Oh, that's real. That's real.
You got to get in there, man, to get the game, but like not.
That's a level I'm at right now, Eric. I'm trying to get this to a level where I can make money off it. I'm trying to monetize this. And I listened a little bit about what you were talking about when you were talking to Adam, and you're doing it on all avenues. You have multiple revenue streams, and you're just from what you said about YouTube, dude, working with YouTube and Instagram right now is fucking draining. And I see that you're on a different platform. That's what I need to do. I need to go on like Patreon or something else because, dude, they shadow ban the shit out of me. They tell me what I can say. They tell me what I can post, and my creativity is bigger than that. Like
let me share something with you. You have been through the real, right? You guys have really lived that life. Do you know that there's guys who have never been in the military, who have never went through the training you went through? They're charging young men 12 to 18,000 for a weekend getaway to learn how to be a man.
I've been seeing that.
Dude.
I've been seeing that. It's nuts.
I mean, you literally, Cody and them have worked with the Navy SEALs, and you got these guys, they're charging 50 dudes.
They could do that.
$15,000. Do the math on that one.
They could do that. Damn.
Do the math on that one, bro.
That's big money.
Per
person.
Have you, man, there was a box. I seen a guy, he had these guys from Wall Street in his gym showing him how to box, and he's clowning. He said, look at this guy. Look how he hits. He's like, come on, man. He's like, oh, man, am I not hitting the bag right? He's clowning these guys. These guys are paying him $1,000 a session to learn how to be a box. These dudes have never hit nobody.
Damn.
You gotta learn. You gotta use what you have. You know what I mean?
I hear you.
Otherwise, you're wasting it. You mean to tell me you kicked all that ass in Afghanistan and you ain't over here and you got some fake ass dude?
You're right. Talk that shit. Talk that shit. I hear you.
He's got a damn Blazerian beard and he's talking about he's done all this shit, dude.
So,
come on, man.
Spot on. Well said.
These fake ass dudes with the tattoos and shit. Yep. Oh man, I was on whoop de whoop yard. You
ain't done shit.
Yep. Dude, look, you were around real gangsters.
Facts.
People who you were in a whole
real shooters.
Country.
Real shooters.
Dude, you got a dude over here. He gets out nice telling these stories and he's doing burpees. Come on, bro. A burpee?
Damn.
You got a lot of value. You gotta exercise that, and it's beyond you talking about what you've done. But you have a lot of stuff where it's packageable. But like I said, man, this game we're living in right now, it's all bullshit. The guys who are winning are the guys who can lie the most on YouTube.
Yeah,
the guys who can,
that's so true.
Who can get the car, who can use their friend who has real estate license. They can go film in the house, look like they're balling. Take their shirt off. Act like
it's honestly it's the guys that can look pretty and attractive because they get the followers, and once they lock in the followers, they monetize something and they sell to the followers. I'll figure it out, bro. I'll figure it out. I'm right on the cusp.
Like what you're talking about. I mean, how many people in their lifetime will be able to say they talked to somebody that was from Afghanistan, and
not a lot,
and can share those stories, bro?
Not a lot. You're right.
I mean, when you talk to those people, how do they look at everybody coming over there trying to tell them how to live when they have their own culture?
Look what they did, bro. They beat the shit out of us in Afghanistan. We lost in Afghanistan from guys with 20-year-old AKs and loincloths. Okay? So.
Same thing in Vietnam, right?
Facts.
Vietnam, you had guys underground in tunnels whooping the shit.
Because they had something to get behind, bro. Because you know why? We were the bad guy in that scenario. Honestly, we were.
You're trying to make somebody. You're trying to force them. Now, look at what you just said. Now, how are they going to be able to do that to the American people? You think that's going to work over here? They'll lose too. You can send all the immigrants over here you want to, bro. I know some boys in the mid. I know some dudes who are some country boys, black and white.
I know.
Bro, they is not going.
Ain't going.
No. You might see some little weaklings on the coast of California and Seattle and those little weak states, and nothing against people from Cali. I'm from Cali, but when they show all the little, man, you go in the Midwest, you got some hardcore dudes who, bro.
Yeah.
Shit.
Yeah.
These dudes is not playing, bro. They don't have the platform though. So they're behind the scenes. I know, like in Boston, man, I know some dudes who used to do powerlifting, old school dudes, some hard hitting dudes from, East Coast. They're not public like that. They're quiet. But believe me, you try to come into their town with that bullshit, you're gonna get your head up.
Ain't going.
Ain't going. And they know that. So they're trying to They try to weaken us up through dividing us. If me and you aren't talking, if I don't talk to this guy, if I'm not talking to my Filipino homie, if I'm not talking to my Asian, if I'm not talking to my,
Because look, bro, look, this is positive energy right here. What we
yeah,
have right here is positive. They don't want that. You know what I'm
no,
saying? Like, yeah, you're right. You're right.
no, and that's one of the things I learned. Like, I remember the guy. He's like, Timmons, what are you guys talking about? What paperwork you filing, dude? I had a white guy with me in prison, a Korean guy, a Belizean guy, a black guy, a guy from Laos. I was with all different. I used to communicate with a lot of people, and in prison, the black guys, especially from LA, like, man, what are you doing talking to that Mexican? What are you doing talking to that dude? Dude, they didn't understand it. But see, I grew up. I never looked at race.
That's
I
programming.
grew up in a different culture, So my mentality, it was different.
That's why it worked for you. That's honestly, that's why sometimes especially the Marines work, because it's almost like you don't see a color. The only thing in the Marines is green, and it just moves seamlessly that way. And honestly, you're right. That racism, this systemic racism has been programmed into people, so they divide themselves now. They don't even need a racist act going on. Exactly what you just said. Just you doing something different, they were hating on it, and that confused them and scared them. So rat, racist, or whatever you want to pinpoint, call it. You feel me?
If I would have been a little dude in prison, bro, I would have got packed out.
Facts.
Dudes would have already have tried to roll me up, but I wasn't like I was very well read when it came to like working out and stuff. And then on top of it, I articulated myself different. So a lot of people didn't like that either, because the way I talk, my mannerism
confused the fuck out of them, probably.
Yeah, they didn't like it,
Yeah.
So,
but you also know you have to bite quick in a situation like that. They have to know, because you get tested very quickly in prison. So if you don't show instant fire with fire, you're fucked.
Yeah, and you learn how to read body language, just like your fear. It's like an animal in the jungle. You the way you walk, the way you sit down and eat your food.
You notice that you can tell lies in that you can tell when someone's lying. You can tell when someone's nervous, just from little ticks. It's all in facial structure movements. It's crazy how when you're in a situation when it's like kill or be killed constantly, you're heightened all the time, and little things stick out to you. If you see a little tick when someone says a certain word, you know that he is nervous about something. Yeah. So he's infatuated with his words, and it's wild what you can find out in situations like that just from little mannerisms.
How many other guys like yourself did you come across when you became awoke that you realized were also on the same consciousness? Was there a lot, or
no? Maybe 2% of wow. Yeah. And dude. It's a very lonely life, to be honest, man. Even when you're out of the military, dude, because everyone just subscribes to CNN and Fox News, and everything that they're told is that's what's going on in the world. And if you speak out against that, you're just the outlier that is crazy and doesn't listen to reason, when really you're the only one that knows what the fuck is going on. Shit. Yeah. We've been so
man. I don't really have a lot of friends either. I mean,
I don't either. Exactly. And you know what something is though, dude? I'll never go back. I'll never look the other way. I can't. I can't. No. That's one thing when you get your eyes opened, man. Like, I don't care how painful it is. I'd rather know.
You can't unsee what you saw.
Yeah.
And it's a blessing to be able to have that level of consciousness. And now your next phase is just like Neo is mastering your skills within the Matrix.
Facts.
But see, the difference is you're conscious of what you're doing. A lot of people are not conscious of how they're doing it in the Matrix.
Exactly.
So when you're conscious, literally, bro, you'll be able to snap your fingers and you'll have
make things move around you.
You have a suitcase full of money.
Yeah. I'm trying to master that right now, bro.
It'd be effortlessly. You know, you won't have a lot of. It'd be so natural that you're like, wow, every day. Because what happens is, Nick, when people realize who you are, they're gonna bless you like you should be blessed. You know, you'll walk through and you'll be, oh, Nick, here you, Nick, here you go. You're like, oh, okay. You'll be like, goddamn, the quarterback for the Kansas City Chiefs. You know what I mean?
Facts.
Everybody be swinging from your nutsack.
Yeah,
You know?
facts.
You just got, once they swing from your nutsack, you got to make sure just to slap them off here and there so
Of
they
course.
don't wear your
Exactly.
nuts.
Exactly. You don't want to drag too low now. Yeah, come on. Oh, shit.
Oh,
Well, Herc, I got to get going, unfortunately, but I'd love to talk to you again, man. This has been awesome.
no, man. I thank you for coming on. I know we started a
Absolutely.
little late, man.
No, no
But,
worries. It was my bad. It was my bad. My bad.
we've
But
been
I'd
on an
love.
hour, so I'll definitely have you back, and we'll tap in and look forward to more of your content, brother.
Absolutely. Thanks again, Herc. You have a good night now.
All right, you too, brother.